Hi, welcome to your asana practice to go with our theme, Go with the Flow. We'll be doing some yin poses today to work our hip and belly area in an effort to free the energy within our Svadhisthana or sacral chakra, that area of the body that is connected with our ability to have some fluidity with our life and to go with the flow. In this practice, we'll be holding the poses for a shorter amount of time than you could hold them in a normal yin class. So I invite you, if you would like to make this practice a more full-length practice, you can do some of these poses and pause the video and hold them for 3 to 5 minutes apiece. This practice is intended to be something that you can use to loosen the body and get a little work in prior to lying down and doing your yoga nidra meditation. So let's start by coming to kind of a yin style shavasana. We'll do the variety where we bring our arms straight up, kind of like you're doing the YMCA song movement, but your feet are wide, mat distance apart. And in this position, bring your shoulder blades under your back, make yourself comfortable. And start by feeling the movement of energy in your body without analysis or judgment. Just notice where the energy seems to move freely or any place where it feels congested or tight or murky. This is a great way to start a yin practice. In yin, part of what we're doing is working the meridians, the energetic meridians, unblocking and freeing chi. So it's kind of nice to start by just seeing what your base is before you begin your practice. Maybe especially noticing in the spirit of today's practice how you feel in your belly region. Let go of any holding in your body and in your mind. Allowing yourself to really relax, sinking back into gravity. Let go of the expression in your face. And just let go. Just enjoy luxuriating in this moment. Let go of each finger and each toe. And no matter how relaxed you feel like you currently are, see if you can let go just 5% more. And in no particular hurry, gradually open your eyes and bring your arms along your sides, palms facing down. Bring your feet to the mat with the knees bent, feet about hip distance apart and drawn in as close as you can. Bring them to your buttocks. You can slide your heels towards your upper body, or you can hold on to your mat and bring your upper body towards your heels. Feel that your feet are parallel from one another, all the way from toe to heel. And as you inhale, slowly lift your hips off the mat as you rise and arc your arms towards the ceiling, and then bring the backs of the hands all the way to the floor behind. Use your exhale to reverse that movement, slowly arcing your arms back along your sides and slowly lowering your hips to the mat. 3 more times at your pace. notice we're going to do really more of a yin today. Little bits of two pose vinyasas between some of our yin poses. And then when you come down after that fourth one, go ahead and flip the hands so the palms are facing the sky, and bring your heels slightly out and lift just the buttocks off the mat. Bring your shoulders underneath your back. Isometrically pull your heels towards your shoulders. And let the heart lift. And honor your body. We've not done any poses before this except for that short vinyasa, so you might not want to come into your highest bridge pose. And just allowing yourself to soften. Notice your glutes if you find you're clenching them. See if you can kind of engage your buttocks and the back of your legs so that they're doing some work but they're not clenching. You can close your eyes if you'd like. And create some length in the front of your body. Draw your pubic bone away from the base of your throat, creating a nice long line. And then just feel your whole body wrap slightly towards the midline. Like if you could take the outer edges of your body and slowly fold it towards the center. Relax any clenching of the jaw or the face. And then very slowly, go ahead and roll down vertebra by vertebra. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Take your feet towards the edge of the mat so your little toe can feel the wood floor. And you can just cactus your arms along your side of your head. And as you exhale, take your right knee and reach it over like you're going to touch your left little toe. The left leg doesn't move much at all. Nice internal rotation of the hip here. Holding this for a few breaths. Use an inhale to bring that right knee back up. Now the same thing with the left leg. Take the left knee, stretch it out and across like you're going to touch your right little toe. And inhale, bring it up. Now let's get the SI joint a little involved. Make sure that the whole little toe side of your foot is lined up with the edge of your mat. And then lift your buttocks off the mat just an inch or two. And we're going to do that same movement but with each exhale. So with the first exhale, take your right knee and see if you can reach it over to touch your left little toe. And inhale it up. Exhale, take the left knee out and over. Touch the right little toe and bring it up. And a couple more times to each side. Let's actually do 4 total. Moving with the breath. And when that feels complete, go ahead and lower your tailbone to the mat. Let your knees fall together for a few breaths. And then go ahead and roll to one side and gently press yourself up. Let's come into deer. As many of you know, this is one of my favorite poses. I'm going to line up along the long mat because of the way I'm facing, but it kind of works well to be facing the short end of your mat. You're going to take your right thigh in front of you, kind of like you would for swan or for pigeon, and line it up on the edge of the mat. And then take the left leg and let that thigh come straight out from the hip, creating right ankles with your hips and your knees and your ankles. Flex the ankles. Take your hands on either side of that right leg and really straighten your torso. As you straighten it, you're going to feel a reaction in the external rotators of your left leg. Draw the belly button towards the heart, and keeping a nice erect torso, look back over your right shoulder. You can close your eyes if you want. Feel the muscles relax from the bone. Let the scaffolding of the bone support you. And find stillness in body and mind as you hold the pose. And now we're going to keep the legs in the same configuration. We're going to change the top half of the body a little. As you exhale, turn your belly button towards that front leg, and then go ahead and bring your arms straight in front of you based on what your body will allow this morning. Press the right sit bone into the mat. Draw the shoulders down from the ears. And again, you can pause the video and hold some of these poses longer if you'd like. Bring your hands back toward your body and come up. Let's bring this back left leg around and bring the soles of our feet together for butterfly. Make sure you've got a little bit of a forward tilt on the sit bones if you want to sit on a bolster or a blanket so that you can kind of waterfall forward. That works great for this. Interlace the fingers around the toes if that's in your practice, or bring your hands along the front of the shins. Use the ability to kind of pull against the leg to elongate through the spine on an inhale. And then as you exhale, let yourself fold forward, let the head drop. Remembering the tenets of yin, to find your edge in the pose, a place where you can feel the work that is happening, but there's no numbness or sharp pain. To find stillness in body and in mind, and then to hold for time. Remembering that we're working the yin tissues of the body, the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, the bone. They're more plastic than elastic, and this ability to hold for time allows them to slowly release. And as you inhale, slowly come up. This is definitely one that you can hold for a nice long hold if you'd like. From here, let's do a little bit of flying butterfly. Bring your hands on either side of your hips. And let's start to the left. As you inhale, come up onto your left shin as you reach the right arm up and back. Exhale, come down, and as you inhale, roll up right up into the same pose on the right side. Exhale down, and then let's go ahead and do it once more to either side. And exhale, come down. And let's go ahead and come into our deer pose on the opposite side. This time we have the left leg in front of you. Right leg's coming straight out from the hip. Kind of look at the angle of it. You want it to be all right angles. And even the flexing of the ankles. Take your hands on either side of that left leg. Draw the belly button towards the heart. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back. Let this right hip kind of roll with you as you look back over your left shoulder. And just find your stillness. And then just slowly on an exhale, turn your belly button towards the front leg. And let's bring, without changing the legs, let's bring the arms straight in front. Draw the shoulders from the ears. And walk your hands back all the way towards your body. And then just bring your legs in front of you. Maybe make some slow half circles with the ankles. And when that feels complete, let's go ahead and come onto all fours. And you might want to have your blocks ready for this one. You might enjoy having them for this pose. You might set them on either side of the mat. Let's step the left foot forward first. Bring your hands to the mat or your blocks and pick up the back knee and extend that back leg as far as you're able. Press through the heel and then drop it to the mat. If you need a blanket under your knee, pause and put it there. Or you can double the mat up under that knee. Then go ahead and place the toenails on the mat. If that bothers the knee, keep them curled under. Hands on the block or the floor. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, let the knees melt one from the other. You can bow your head if you'd like, but make sure you keep that back of your neck expansive. And again, we're not going to hold this as long as you can hold it. If you'd like, you can pause the video and time this and hold it for 3-4 minutes. And then if you'd like, take the block under your right hand and move it right underneath your foot. Take your left hand to your leg. If you don't want the block, just bring your hand to the mat. Elongate with an inhale, and as you exhale, look back over your left shoulder and elbow. And then for the last bit of this, let's come into gecko. If you're using a block, you can put it on its kind of short side right next to that left foot, or you can come down to the mat. But bring your forearms down to the block or a mat. Let the fingers stay straight, palms touching, and bring that left leg a little bit towards the body instead of opening it out to the side. And it might feel more comfortable if you bring that left foot forward just a little bit. If you did the first dragon pose for 4 minutes, I'm not sure that I would hold these 2 subsequent poses for quite that long. Maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes, but maybe just a minute. It's a lot in succession. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come up onto your hands. Bring this front foot back and allow yourself to come into a nice, gentle child's pose. You can bring your arms in front or along your sides. Or one thing that I like to do just to counteract general slouching throughout the day is to put blocks so that they're kind of pointing like an arrow forward. Rest your forearms on the block. Take your forehead to the mat, and this opens up your shoulders a little bit. A few more breaths here. And when you're ready, go ahead and press up. And let's come into that same pose on the opposite side. So this time we're going to go ahead and bring the right leg forward. Again, stretch that left leg out as far as you can, keeping the right knee kind of over the right ankle. Then drop the leg, toenails to the mat. Blocks or no block. If you're using them, they should be right under the shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale. Let the knees melt one from the other. Find your edge and then find your stillness. If the pose allows you to go more deeply, with each exhale, feeling yourself stretch or ground a little more, then allow it. Yin is all about allowing, bringing yourself into the posture and allowing time and gravity to help it deepen. Feel the motion of this shoulder blades sinking towards the hips as the shoulders draw down from the ears. Feeling the lengthening of the neck. And the softness of the muscles as they let the bones support the body. The feel of the work happening in the hips. And let the belly be nice and loose. take that block under your left hand and move it to the inside of your right foot, or bring your left hand to the inside of the right foot. Right hand comes to the leg. Use an inhale to lengthen. Look back over your right elbow and shoulder. And with an exhale, turn forward. Bring your forearms to the block or to the mat. Coming into gecko. Maybe moving that right forward just a little bit. And inhale, go ahead and come up onto the hands. Step that front foot back, coming into a tabletop. And then let's take our blocks on the mid setting this time, shoulder distance apart to the front of the mat. Take your elbows to the far ends of the blocks and try to kind of let your triceps relax down on the blocks as you reach joined hands back between your shoulder blades. Relax the legs. We'll use this as both a way to relax the legs from that last hip opener and last stretch, and then also as a way to open the front of the body. A few more breaths here. And use an inhale to come up. Reach your arms straight out in front of you so that you can press into the elbows. Bring the hands to the block and come up. Let's go ahead and bring those blocks off the mat and go ahead and come on to your back. Cactus your arms alongside your head and take your left knee and cross it over your right so that the knees are stacked like you're wearing a short skirt. If you want, you can even hook the front of the left foot behind the right knee like you would for eagle pose. And then take a nice long inhale. Feel yourself lengthening through the whole body. And then as you exhale, let your knees fall to the right as you gaze to the left. If it's uncomfortable to have your knees, if to have that foot behind your calf, go ahead and release it. And if you need something underneath your knees, you can take a block or a bolster and place it there. Let your gaze turn away from your knees. And feel the front of your hips kind of laced towards the midline. Feel the hips rotating inward. But even as you create that sensation, let your belly remain soft. Finding that balance of the work happening, but a softness, a give to the body. If you're timing this and stopping the video, you could hold it for 3 to 5 minutes. Make sure you're grounded under the knees and under that left shoulder, that both of them are firmly resting on the earth or on a prop that is the substitute for the earth. And then use an inhale, rock the knees back up. Let's change the cross of the knees. Have that elongating inhale, and then as we exhale, let the knees drop to the left as we gaze to the right. Softening and letting go. Relaxing into the stillness of the pose, the movement, and your breath giving life to the pose. Again, feeling the right and left sides of the body drawing towards the midline. And use an inhale to rock the legs back up. And then let's bring the legs straight out, mat distance apart, and come into that same initial pose. Arms are spread wide, stretching over your head in kind of a Y position. And notice the movement of energy in your body now, as opposed to the beginning of practice. Allowing yourself to feel a spaciousness, a loosening of though the cells are separating one from another. And remembering that you are not confined by the edges of your physical form. Let that energy that is you expand outward in every direction. And you can lay here for as long as you'd like. If you are going to start your yoga nidra meditation, take your time here, and when you're ready, roll to a side, get your props right where you'd like them, and start your recording. Namaste.